All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I'm going to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodash. We say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feeds us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump into this. The title's lesson is going to be women are now living in cars. Isaiah 4:1 is a must, okay? Because pride is going to go out the window when dire straits come and everything is set up, the financial crisis, everybody's doing bad, okay? But that's why the Lord told us to store up our treasures in heaven, because now those that did the work, those that have labored, those that have believed in this truth wholeheartedly, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to take care of them. He says that my servant shall eat. So those that scoffed, those that didn't see the time coming, that's why it says righteous man seeth and hideth himself. All right, we seen this coming down the pipe. We didn't know how it was going to come. We didn't know how it was going to happen. But now you see, and why are these elites tight and everything? Because that's the Lord making them tight and everything. All right, because now with this financial crisis, the gold hit another high. I think it's close to 3,600 if I'm not mistaken. But gold is rushing up, silver is rushing up at all-time high. Precious metals, which people are invested into. All right, what does it say? Gold is the currency of kings and silver is the currency of gentlemen. So I'm going to play this. This is Fair Use. Fair Use is from Homestead Journey. I've been watching her a little bit more in depth recently, but I seen this one the other day and I found it was heavy because she's going in and showing you people that are living in their cars, that are trying to make do, and there's still pride. The thing about it is they're still prideful in their situation, because they can't believe that it's happening. You make fun of the third world countries and how they living now. You living in a car, you just a few, missed payments away from being out in the street, the elements. All right, some people lucky enough they'll pay their car off, so they'll have that to live in. But man, it's wild out here. It makes you count your blessings. All right, so this is Fair Use. Fair Use, this is for educational purpose only. This is not for any kind of monetary gain. So let's watch this.
It's not just a thing for retired couples like it used to be. We have young families now, single women, full-time workers. Everybody is starting to do it. It's becoming a trend.
I'm broke and I live in my car. I have a full-time job at Jack in the Box and I just got off work. I'm really trying to get a studio, an apartment, something, but I only have $1,000 saved up and I can't find anything around that price. So I'm literally coming to terms that I'm going to be living in my car for the summer. I don't mind living in my car. I mind living in my car in the summer.
Still eating the fowl. She eating lobster, trying to be fancy, living in your car.
1 month. I have maybe 1 month before summer gets super bad here in Arizona. So I'm going to try to save as much money as I can. And one of the things I'm going to do is try eating inside my car. I bought this little pot and I'm not going to be cooking anything crazy, but just things that are easy for me to cook. I do have a fridge now, so I can now cook sandwiches, maybe ramen, scrambled eggs. And I should also probably start eating a little bit healthy, but I've been craving this ramen for a very long time. And if my car ever gets super hot when cooking, my car's a convertible. So I'll just open the hood and let all of the smelly ramen come out through the top part. Well, now I'm gonna enjoy my ramen and watch TV and then go to sleep because I work tomorrow.
So we're a family of 5 and we live in an RV full time, and unfortunately this is the case for a lot of people with today's economy and inflation, and the cost of housing is just astronomical and it's causing a lot of people to financially struggle, which makes it surprising when I get so many hateful comments pretty much daily telling me that this is not appropriate for kids, pretty much child abuse. Or one comment said, if we can't financially provide for our children properly, we should have never had kids. Pretty sure she's deleted her whole thread now because hopefully she realized how idiotic that is. Because God forbid you have children when you are doing well financially and hit hard times and start struggling. I guess you just should have never had children to begin with. I don't understand people. But anyways, those people don't pay your bills. So you do what's best for you. If you can't afford your rent and you can't afford your mortgage, then you do what you need to do to survive. And
There's that pride, okay? Because it's not to say that, hey, damn, something's going on with the country I'm living in. It's, oh, we just adjusting. We're making do. Which, hey, that's it. Get it how you live. But the main point is that you're seeing the curses transition. We're seeing a transition in power. We're seeing a transition in judgment. All right, because we've been living like this. We ain't getting no better until this place is taken out. The Lord's going to provide for us just like he provided for the prophets of old. Okay, Elijah, he provided for Abraham, all the men that he loved, he provided for. Everything that they needed in a certain situation, he took care of them. Okay, Joseph was taken care of. The disciples were taken care of. Okay, which were later turned into apostles, but they were taken care of. So that's in the time, because judgment's coming down. The same thing with Noah in the time of the flood. The Lord brought the flood. So who's bringing this flood now? Who's bringing the chaos? But he's going to give a life preserve to those that are in good graces. Okay.
an RV is not the worst thing. It's honestly been so great for our family. It has freed us up financially, which has been amazing. And our family's closer together because of it. So please, if you're struggling, don't look at having to live in an RV is a bad thing, because yes, it's not a stick and brick house, but it has everything you need, and living simple is okay. We don't have to glorify having excessive amounts of things or.
Come on now. This is this is Esau, man. This is, she looked like an Edomite. We don't know if she's an Edomite or not, but the main point is that it's being glamorized now because you don't got a choice. You had a choice, you're going to live in a big house, mansion. You live in those things, but the financial pinch is coming down. It's rolling downhill. And all these Edomites are feeling it. If you don't have money already, or you don't have an inheritance, or you don't have a trust fund, or you don't come from money, then it's coming down, man. Right?
Space, because that's not to be able to.
Instead of day trading, gambling, or trading crypto, try using the Acorns app to invest your money.
My name is Tyler, and with rental prices going over $1,500 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, I have been outpriced in the rental market. So I live here in my car full-time, so I'm going to show you around a little bit. Starting here with the bed, it is a 3-inch memory foam mattress topper. I did not take out any of the seats of the car. It is all stock. The seats folded completely flat, so that was very helpful. Over here is my Yeti cooler, which I've gotten a lot of flack from people online saying that I shouldn't have it. It actually was a gift for my birthday last year. There's a lot of people saying I don't deserve it because I live in my car, but it actually really helps me out.
Show you that Esau don't care about Esau, man. Esau don't care about Esau. They're talk shit about you having a cooler. That's why we're not worrying about these scoffers that scoff at this scoff at the word, because they're not. At the end of the day, you can't please these people, man. All right? So you got this Edomite laying in his car, and you got different toy animals and different things. He ain't built for it. And this is only the beginning, okay?
It keeps the food cold for days, and it saves me on ice, and it keeps my grocery costs down, which is really helpful. Over here, I have a little mini lantern, a night light. I have 2 pillows. There's my little Stitch. I have a quote every day up there. Over on this side of the car, this is kind of where my storage is, or what would be my closet. I keep all my clothes USB-C.
And honestly, you can't blame them.
So that's the main point. You can watch the video. For the sake of time, I'm going to pull up these precepts. That way we can get some of these precepts in. But to show you the curses are being transferred onto these people, transferred, especially in the time these women have been mass layoffs, unemployment, all these things are a catalyst, they're domino effect. And it's just going to keep going and going until this place is done. All right. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established for the nation of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But we'll go through this time. But like it says, not just Jacob's trouble, it's going to be Esau's trouble too. This is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. It says, the Lord, that your power will inflict all these curses on your enemies and those who hate and persecute you. So those people that talk shit, all they look at Jake, and Esau is he's more than showed us enough proof that he doesn't want to have nothing to do with us unless it's some entertainment or some bullshit. Amplified, the Lord your power will inflict all these curses on your enemies, so you the Israelites have enemies, and on those who hate you and have persecuted you. Okay, so let's jump down here to some precepts. It says, I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you, and all the families of the earth will be blessed through you. All right, through what? That you're gonna have a lot of Israelites that look like these other nations. All right, through that genealogy. Okay, even John was asked, who are these? And John said, I don't know. You thou knowest, Lord. Okay, because those are going to be Israelites that come out of all walks of life, all nations of people on the planet Earth. That's what the Gentiles are speaking about, because it's just Israelite coming out of these places through their genealogy, their bloodline. They are Israelites. Exodus 23 and verse 22. But if you will listen carefully to, it says, but if you will listen carefully to his voice and do everything I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and a foe to your foes. And how's that happening now? By the way of this truth. Because if we are listening, there's an elect that have come back to the Heavenly Father and have confessed the name of the Lord in Babylon and around in parts of the planet Earth. So this right here is allowing for a return, because this is the fulfillment of that return, and that the Lord pouring water on the dry ground, Ezekiel the 37th chapter. These are the things that we've been looking for and hastening. All right, now they're taking place, and now the Lord is going against those that have went against us and didn't listen. They had an opportunity when this truth was in its infancy. Everybody was talking shit. We were crazy guys. Now it's not crazy anymore. Now everything is coming to pass. Those that didn't prepare themselves and didn't gather faith as a treasure, now you're going to be caught up. Isaiah 41 and 11 to 12. Behold, it says, behold, all who rage against you will be ashamed and disgraced. See, it's a disgrace to live in your car in the richest country in the known world. It's disgraced, man. It's disgraceful. But that's the part of the curses. Those who contend with you will be reduced to nothing and will perish. You will seek them, but will not find them. Those who wage war against you will come to nothing. All right? Because the judgment is coming. And then in this place, Babylon itself will be totally wiped off the face of the earth. It's going to turn into a desert, a huge wasteland. Okay? Just like Sodom and Gomorrah in the ancient world was turned into a wasteland. Same thing you're going to see here. Okay? Let me get this. It's a book of Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3. And this is a precept that's been coming out heavy in the last couple of videos. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3. It says, when the keepers, NLT, remember him before your legs and guard your house. Start to tremble, and before your shoulders the strong men stoop. Remember him before your teeth, your few remaining servants stop grinding. And behold, and before your eyes, the women looking through the windows see dimly. Okay, let's read the King James Version. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. What's that? Grinding represents work. It represents a employment, or it represents commerce, if you want to. It represents work. Okay, grinding, that's where you get a so-called 9-to-5 or a job period. That grinding is low. There's not much jobs being created. So if you got a job now, those are the ones that are there. And if you don't, you fighting against a whole pool of people that are overqualified and that are willing to do the least because there's no options. AI is taking a lot of jobs away. It's pushing a lot of people out of the workforce. And those that took pride in their supposedly degrees and their education, they're being pushed out of the way. All right, making room for this new way of life. So we're seeing everything culminate itself now. And these are the beautiful times. Hey, just watching that video make you eat your food a little bit better and be thankful, because the Lord is really, really coming down on this planet Earth, man. But it's rightfully so, because men have lived without knowledge of the Most High and lived in pride, man. Now all that stuff is coming down to an end, and it's going to be culminated by the way of this third world war and the destruction by the angels and the Lord himself, and the establishment of the planet Earth under what? The law, statutes, and commandments. That's why the Lord said he shall make the law honorable, man. All right, so I'm going to head to the plantation. I just had to bring that out real quick. I shared that video. I seen that, and I found it beautiful, beautiful news, and it's fearful at the same time. But Yahbashim Yahshua is coming to the planet Earth. With that, I say, call hello, Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Until the next time, I say shalom, and more not, I'll never keep that.